today, President Biden issued an executive order that has implications for many, and new tonight, Noah Kaplan is with us to tell us more about how people are reacting to this news. Noah.
Well, Tom, the Biden administration gave all federal employees an ultimatum Thursday, and the public is still figuring out how to react. President Biden issuing a major executive order Thursday, requiring all federal employees be vaccinated for COVID-19 or test weekly for the virus. His administration deems the current situation in America a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
And I understand that many of you in the majority are frustrated with the consequences of the failure of the minority to get vaccinated.
Reacting to the mandate, workers' unions formed their own responses. The American Postal Workers Union opposed the mandate in a statement, quote, "Maintaining the health and safety of our members is of paramount importance." While the APWU leadership continues to encourage postal workers to voluntarily get vaccinated, it is not the role of the federal government to mandate vaccinations for the employees we represent. Many in Rochester say they voluntarily received a COVID-19 vaccine, but argued it should be a personal choice in spite of acknowledging the importance of vaccination.
When I was in the military, trained as an Army medic, and there was an outbreak of spinal meningitis in boot camp in Louisiana, we took precautions. We took precautions because the greater good is a mission statement.
Others agree it should be required.
You've heard some comparisons to people not smoking in federal buildings or not smoking in restaurants for other people's health.
Unless we have a very easy means of testing to see whether there is a person that is spreading the virus, I think what President Biden is doing with his advice of his counsel with the CDC is the direction to take.
As for if companies should require it,
they're keeping their employees so they're not getting sick and losing productivity in the workplace.
As for here in Rochester, Mayor Kim Norton hinted at a possible mask mandate today, saying, quote, "Friends, I am heartsick to read about the uptick of COVID-19 in cities across the country, full hospitals and pediatric units in a growing number of cities. Please stop the spread by getting vaccinated, or we will be faced with mask mandates, quarantines, and illness again." Back to you, Tom.
Noah, thank you. And new data from